It's not America's responsibility to intervene, but our government propaganda convinces us to go against the USA. They do. That's how much the American, and thank you, you said it better than I've been trying to, because I'm getting like all these different attacks over this, which is fine, but the attacks I'm getting are from people here in America. We're being invaded right now. We have more homeless people every day, and Americans that are suffering and hurting. Does it seem righteous to go stand with and in some Israel rally or some Palestine rally or any other country's rally when your own country is being invaded and falling apart? That's what that's the problem I have with this. The US Constitution doesn't say anything about Israel, but the media has told you forever, and a bunch of biblical scholars have told you forever, that no, we have to stand with Israel. Okay, we can stand and support Israel. We don't need to send them billions of dollars when we are a country that's being invaded. It just shows that everybody on the left and the right, they don't work for the American people. Yet all of those people put their hand, many of them, on a Bible and said they took an oath to this country. So how can you attack me if you're an American when I'm just demanding that the politicians be held accountable because they are not putting this country first? For 3 years, our country has been an open border for every kind of anybody to come in here, and nobody has done anything about it. But when they do something, it's always to send our money elsewhere. They send it to Ukraine, they send it to Israel, they send it everywhere. They want to say that this is about American hostages because there's American hostages there. There's American hostages in China. Nobody ever talks about it, most especially those politicians. But what's more important here is the fact that this is a man who has placed himself on this biblical values path. Okay? But all of the politicians do it. I just get most annoyed with the people that place themselves on some biblical high ground, and it's like, if you want to talk biblically, I think that God expects you to honor the oath that you took to this country. And when your own country's being invaded, then I don't think God, no matter what country it is, wants you to disregard the American citizens you took an oath to, that pay your paycheck, that give you a salary. I don't think God would support you disregarding those people to go say we stand with Israel. But so many Americans have been propagandized to for so long that no, this is what we do. You should sacrifice yourself. You just forget about the homeless, that the homeless population that keeps rising. just forget about the amount of fentanyl that's coming over the border. Just forget about your open borders and being invaded. But I'm a politician that took an oath to your country, and I'm gonna go stand with another country at a rally on your dime. That should infuriate every American, unless you're somebody who hates America. And you're exactly right, thank you. The media has hated this country for a long time. That's why they hated Trump. Everybody ripped on Trump for him saying America first. And yet it didn't mean America over every other country. I always took what he said as America first, meaning that each country should put their values and what's in their best interest first. They should. And if every country did that, and calm heads can prevail, and there's not all these wars. And again, there was none of this stuff going on under Trump. How is that possible? How is it possible that we actually had peace for 4 years under Trump, and now there's all these wars going on? It says a lot about the leadership we have, not just in the presidency, but in the House and in the Congress. It shows that they don't know how to lead. They don't know how to do what is right. And most important here is you shouldn't just believe what people say. Everybody wanted to put Mike Johnson on this biblical pedestal. Do you realize they did this with Pence? I mean, that's how Pence was presented, as he's very biblically motivated and driven, and he's such an outstanding, and he acted so perfect. He did all through Trump's presidency. He was the vice president. You couldn't think he could do any wrong. I mean, then when you learn the truth about that, that's a scary one. But putting that aside, he was all biblical values. And look at who he turned out to be. So why do the American people then fall for it when it's Mike Johnson? These people know how to play this game. And the American people have to wake up enough that if you're going to watch the mainstream media news, or any news really, then you need to be critical of every single thing that they put out. And you need to be able to see the fact that these are the same media, most of them, that ripped on Trump for putting America first. Every politician in this country should put America first. Most of them don't, because most of them hate America. I don't know why. It's heartbreaking. And the ones that stand on biblical values, they most especially should be honoring their oath to this country. But they all always work for other countries. For 3 years, we have had an open border being invaded day after day. More fentanyl deaths, more overdoses, more money, child and women trafficking, everything being trafficked into this country. And these people that you pay, that your tax dollars pay, they went and did a rally with Israel. And yes, last week it was a bunch of the Democrats went and rallied with the Palestine supporters or the Hamas supporters. All of it is a disgrace. All of them are. You're not on some high ground because you stand with Israel. Nobody is on high ground here, because if you have to go to war, and God only wanted people going to war if there was a good reason, like a righteous one. This isn't righteous. It's not. It's not righteous for this country to disregard its own people, to go stand with a foreign country, whether it's Israel or whether it's Iran or Hamas. It is not right. And why I'm being attacked for this just goes to show that your values aren't with America, are they? Because if they are, then the oath those politicians took for you should matter to you. And what should matter is all of them have violated the oath they took. Because all of them have only did any action steps when it came to some hearings, but nothing came of it. Nobody's been held responsible, because they're all guilty too. And what are they guilty of? They're guilty of many things in some cases, but most especially not upholding the oaths they took to this country. All of them put another country before Americans. That's why America continues to fall into destruction, because unfortunately, the Republicans and the Democrats hate Americans.